Good afternoon, happy stampers, and welcome to my happy stamping studio. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and today we're doing a fun technique. I'm going to show you some samples, some more samples in the end that I have made. But we're going to be making 4 cards today, and I am going to be stamping ones onto a piece of cardstock and then splitting that up to make these 4 cards. I'm going to be using the Pretty Florals stamp set, and I am not going to be putting sentiments on these right now. I'll do that later. And we're actually going to do this technique twice today. We're going to do it for the card fronts and for the inside of the cards. So if you're watching live, please say hello. If you are watching on replay, say hello and let me know where you're coming from. So, I use this mat to remind me to let you guys all know that today is the last day for our Cyber Monday special on our paper pumpkin kits. You can get those kits at a great on a great sale right now. You can get a 6-month, 12-month subscription. So be sure to check that out over on my website at my store. So, like I said, we're going to be using one piece of cardstock for the front and one for the inserts. So for the front, I'm going to cut down this cardstock 1 inch in both directions. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. Cut that. I actually did this yesterday, last night over on TikTok, and we just had a blast. So if you like meeting other crafters and spending a couple hours with me stamping or painting, because I am bringing my painting over there, please join us. So I am going to score this at 3 3/4. Okay, now we're going to be cutting this later, but I'm using these score marks as a guide. So I'm going to score it at 3 3/4 and then again at 5 inches. Okay, so those are going to be for our card fronts. Now for the inside inserts, I'm going to cut my cardstock in each direction at a 1/2 inch. I'm going to go ahead and do that right away so that we don't have to pull my paper trimmer out until near the end. I am going to be doing all my paper cutting today on my live. So I am scoring this at 5 1/4 and again at 4 inches because our inserts are going to be larger because I'm going to be matting my cardstock, my white cardstock for the front. Okay, I have several ink colors here that I'm going to be using today. I am going to be using my Peach Pie, Timid Tiger, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, and Strawberry Slush. I am going to wipe these off because I have ink on them. So let me just wipe those all off a little bit so I don't get ink on my cards. Got a little messy last night. So what have you guys been doing? Have you been busy Christmas shopping, possibly Christmas baking, cookies and goodies for the holidays? I want to apologize that I was a little bit late today, but I had to go get an x-ray done. Dave had to get an EKG done and some blood work done, and we hit a freight train. Well, we didn't hit the freight train, but the freight train was going across as we were coming home, and I felt I was going to be late. Sorry. So I wanted to postpone this for 45 minutes just to make sure I made it in time and you guys didn't worry. So I'm going to take those inserts. So this is the smaller piece. It measures 7.5 by 10. And we're going to once again be using those score lines as guides. So let me stack these up here. I'm going to start out with my Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to stamp these stems for my flowers. So we are going to stamp those in each quadrant, just like this. Now you can choose to turn your stamp or you can choose to turn your paper. It's totally up to you. These don't have to be exactly the same. Okay, what it is we want the ease of stamping once and then just cutting our cardstock apart. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off real quick. We will be coming back to it. Next, I am going to stamp some flowers. And I'm going to stamp these flowers using my strawberry slush. And it is a two-step stamp, one that stacks on top of the other. I'm going to move my ink pad here. And so we are going to stamp first the solid image. So I'm going to ink that up. Then I'm going to stamp it off here. Oh, you know what? I don't want to make a mess on this paper. I've got another piece here. I'm going to stamp off. So we have a second generation image. And it will be a lighter version of our strawberry slush. So it's going to look a little bit more pinky. And we're going to do this in each one. Now, you could choose to do these a different color in each quadrant if you want. But I like the ease of stamping them all the same. Okay, and just stamp this one in here. Okay, I'm going to clean that stamp off. Now we're going to use that same strawberry slush, and we are going to stamp the middles of these flowers, which are these. I mixed them up. So we're going to stamp this next. Put this right in here. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love these images. These make just such pretty soft flowers. Now in this month's 3 for 20 class, I am actually doing the same technique with a different stamp set. And I'm going to show you that in the end. So make sure you hang around to the end. I did use a retired stamp set, which there's nothing wrong with that. We all have stamps in our collections and we need to use them. I'm going to grab some tea here. Okay, so now we need to build upon this. So I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green again. And I am going to, you know what, I'm going to do this set a little bit different. I'm going to do that same image again. So let me grab that green image. And we are going to stack this one above there. And the reason why I did the flowers on there is because I wanted to know where to put my next images. Stamp this one here. It is going to go over a little bit because this is closer. This one down a little bit. And then we're going to put this one up here. We're going to miss the flowers this time. Turn my heater off. It was a little bit cool because we just came in from outside. So I turned my heat on just for a second. Okay, so now we're going to put some flowers on top of that. And this time we're going to two-step stamp, but we're going to use two different colors inks. I'm going to use the Peach Pie and the Timid Tiger. The Peach Pie is the lighter color, so I'm going to stamp the solid image in the Peach Pie. Going around, just stamping all of those. Okay, and it's okay that it's going off the edge of the paper. You guys know I don't like those angel cards with that halo around the side, so I actually like it when it goes off the edge. Now this one has a second stamp that goes over the top, and we're going to be using the Timid Tiger. Now I could have used the Strawberry Slush again and make these flowers very colorful, and they would still be beautiful. So look at those flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? I just love how these stamps create all that detail in the flowers. They're simple but beautiful, right? Okay. Oh, my computer has decided to scan while I am doing this. Okay, so now we want to add a little bit more interest. So we're going to add another flower and some more stems to this. So we're going to go back to our Granny Apple Green, and we're going to go back to the single stem. And we are going to add some flowers. Now, I do want to leave white space because the whole idea of this is leaving white space for our sentiment. You could add 2 of these if you wanted, depending on how your layout went. Now, I do see a little bit right here where my stamp didn't stamp quite right. So I'm grabbing my blending pen, and I'm just going to add a little bit of ink right over the top of that, and nobody will know that that leaf did not stamp. Now I'm cleaning off the ink out of that blending pen so I can use it again in another color. Okay, this is where our gorgeous grape comes in. You all know that I love purple and orange together. So we are going to do some purple, some gorgeous grape cone flowers. And I am turning them to the side so that, I wonder what that would look like. No, I don't like it later. Because cone flowers don't always grow straight up. So just tapping those on there and putting it right there. And I should have stamped off, and I didn't. So these are going to be a little bit darker. I'm going in the second time, and these should have been full strength. But it is showing up, which is good. Okay. This like this. So these are going to be deeper. Okay, now I want to fill in some of my white space a little bit. So I actually went into another stamp set, and I am going to add some small flowers. Now the stamp set that I used is the B stamp set, which I don't, oh, here it is. I wanted to grab this little flower right there. So I did use Be My Valentine also. And so I have that little flower right here. And we're just going to fill in some of these white spaces with these flowers. These don't have to be exactly the same. Again, the whole idea is just to create these 4 panels super easily, right? Okay, so we're done with that. We're going to go to our inserts next. So these are a little bit bigger, and we don't want it filled in so much, so we are going to go only along the line. So we'll have 2 ways this time. So I am going to stamp my flowers directly onto those lines. Okay, Let's grab our flowers. This one was the peach. And you can switch them up a little bit. Okay. And I am going to do the same down here. I'm going to stamp some peach down here. So we're going to get our flower, our leaf stem there, and then let's do the strawberry slush this time. I'm going to stamp off. How many of you have done this technique? Let me know in the comments. Okay, we're going to put this right here. And then we're going to go full strength in that strawberry slush. And I used the wrong image, but look it still worked. I grabbed the wrong image. Those two go together. These two go together. So I'm going to go into my Timid Tiger and do that onto my peach flower up here. And I use the other image and it's still working. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and across. I want one of these images in the corner here. So I am going to stamp this one above the line. Okay. So I'm going above the line and we're only stamping part of it. So now since I used the peach here, I'm going to use the strawberry slush here. Stamping off, and this time we'll use the right image. Oops, hang on, my alarm is going off. Okay, and then we're going to do the centers with that full strength. Okay, now I want to do the peach flowers down here in the same color. So I am going to have to clean this because I switched it up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do the peach pie down here. Oh, I got a finger mark. I'm going to have to fix that. That's an opportunity. I'm going to have to, let me get another wipe. I don't know where I am. I think my green is leaking a little bit because I re-inked my pad and I think I put too much ink in it. And that's a word of warning, you guys. When you re-ink your pads, don't put too much ink in there. I thought, oh, these are going to be setting out for a while, so I want to make sure I get enough ink, and I got too much ink in there. Okay, so now we want to use the Timid Tiger, but I want to use the other stamp, Timid Tiger here. Okay, so I'm just going to take the yellow and stamp a couple yellow flowers around. And remember, you can go on both sides. So part of this flower is going to show on this one. This one I'm going to do that way a little bit. I'm going to stamp one more flower. Oh, you know what? I'm flipping this over. I don't like that. We're going to start over. Okay, and I see where I'm getting picky. See this here? That's where I'm picking up all this ink from. Every time I picked up that pad, I got green on me. So let's just wipe that off. I'm going to put that chamois to the side and let's start over. We don't want this card to be like that. Thank you for the likes, you guys. Make sure you share this out so your crafting friends will be able to watch too. These, I'm going to do all my green first. I don't like the fact that I'm getting this green where it shouldn't be going. On these, I'm putting this way. and this way. Okay, so once again, now I'm going to stamp the inside. So I am going to stamp these first. So let's do our peach pie. And I'm just going to do the same. I'm not going to start getting fancy, you guys. They're going to be the same. That's okay. Nothing wrong with it being the same. Now we're going into our timid tiger, and let's stamp the detail in those. Okay, now we're going to go to our other flower image, and we are going to stamp our strawberry slush in the corner. Right here. And I'm pressing extra hard because I didn't put a foam mat underneath today, you guys. I forgot. And I didn't want to be any later than I already was. Okay, so now we're reaching for that gorgeous grape. And I am going to do these like they're supposed to be. Well, they can be the way I did them, but the way I was intending them to be. I'm going to stamp off, then stamp here. And see the difference compared to the front was really dark, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I like to see the detail. If I'm going to stamp that second stamp, I want to see it. I want it to be able to be seen right when you look at your images. Okay, so next I am going to put these little flowers on here. Oh, look at that. I'm going to have to put a butterfly there. And clean my finger off. How many? I know you guys are laughing. I know it. I know it. Because we all do that, don't we? I shouldn't have those pads so close. Just going to put this one up here. Okay, so we've got those quarters there. I am going to take my blending pen and just lift up some of that ink a little bit. But I'm putting something over there. Let me see what I have that I can use. Ooh, I don't have a butterfly there, but I can make a butterfly. I have a heart. So we are going to make a butterfly from our heart. Okay, so I have this little heart image and I have the fingerprint. So how can we fix that, right? So we are going to make a fluttering butterfly. So we're going to put this here, stamp right over that. Look at that, it disappeared. Oh my. Okay, we have a butterfly. We are going to take a marker. Let's take the timid tiger because it's a little bit deeper color. And I'm just going to draw a body here and a little head. Actually, this is a strawberry slush. Works just as good. Okay, so we fixed that. So I'm going to close up all these ink pads now. I decided that I am going to do more of the paper cutting on my lives, show you guys a little bit more of behind the scenes things that I normally do off camera, so that those of you that are newer to stamping will get to see how to do it completely. Okay, so got that. I'm going to move all my stamps out of the way because I did not clean them yet, which I should do. So let's just take a moment here and clean stamps because I don't want to get ink all over these cards. These are Actually, beautiful. How many of you have a stamp set that you have in mind right now as you guys are watching me do this, that you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can do that with this stamp set that I have that's been sitting on my shelf that I haven't used for a while, right? I know we all have them. Believe me, I have them. And what a better way to use those stamps than to use them with a new technique. Okay, so we're going to be doing paper cutting next. Got one more stamp to clean here. And you all know that, well, you may not know, but your photopolymer stamps have a tendency of getting stained, and that is fine, you guys. It doesn't do anything about using them or anything like that. They're just showing you that you've loved them. And we all loving our stamps. Okay, I'm going to grab some cardstock here, and I'm going to grab a sheet of Gorgeous Grape, a sheet of, I'm doing the colors that we use, Granny Apple Green. Yep, that one I sliced the packaging the wrong way. And we used Daffodil Delight, which I have plenty of. I used all my scraps last night for my scrap bin. So that's why I'm having to grab some more from my stash here. Okay, so we want Peach Pie and Timid Tiger. Oh no, we'll do Strawberry Slush. I love me some Strawberry Slush. Okay, so this is our color palette. So we're going to cut some of these to be matte and some of them to be card fronts. So we're going to grab our paper trimmer, and I am going to cut first because we're going to do 4 bases. So can you guys tell me what bases you'd want to watch to see them? Okay, Gorgeous Grape, Strawberry Slush. Okay, these 4 colors are going to be a base. So I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. I normally would, well, I'm going to go ahead and score and cut. So we're going to score them all at 4 1/4. Okay, and then I turn my paper and I cut at 5 1/2. Okay, so that's 1 card base. We're going to do 1 card base of each color. Once again, we're going to score first. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So I'm going to lift my blade up, my track up, score, turn it, and cut it. Okay, we have that one. We're going to score our Strawberry Slush. Isn't this just a gorgeous color, you guys? I don't know. I am one that just loves the Strawberry Slush. It's not really pink. It's not really red. It's kind of a lighter color to Poppy Parade. Okay, and then did you want the Gorgeous Grape or do you want the green? Because whatever we don't use for the base, we're going to use for, okay. So score it 4 1/4, Gorgeous Grape it is. It doesn't matter because we have inserts for every single one of these, you guys. Okay. So now we need to cut 4 mats for the front of our card. So I'm going to cut those 4 mats from the Granny Apple Green. So I need to cut down a 1/2 inch off of each side first because we want that to be a little bit smaller than our card front, but yet a 1/4 inch larger than our mat. So we're going to cut this at 5 1/4. Pick that up I cut through both of these at the same time. I have a fresh blade because I got them during our Black Friday sale. I was lucky enough to get them when they were low in stock. They ran out soon after I did that. Okay, so we've got that cut. So now we're going to cut these. Now remember, we've already scored. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut on those score lines. So these are our inserts. So these are going to be cut at 4 and at 5 1/4. And look how fast we have those inserts. All 4 of them done already. Okay, and now our card fronts. This we cut down 1 inch originally, so we need to cut it at 3 3/4 and at 5 inches. Oh, you like that that trick for the butterfly? Yeah, sometimes we have to get creative, you know? Okay, so we have all our cardstock cut. So now all we have to do is start putting this all together. So we want our larger pieces are for the inside. So we're going to set those apart to the side. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal here, and we're going to go ahead and adhere this. Now you could embellish these with dots. You could use ribbons on these, whatever you want, but this is the base of your card. And these make wonderful gifts, you guys. You know, the holiday season coming up, you know, sit down at your craft station and make some cards for people. You can see how fast this is. I'm making a full set of 4 cards in no time. We haven't even been on here a half hour. Okay, I've got to switch over here. I think I was actually using Seal Plus. Grab the wrong one first. Okay. So you've got that one. And this one. And these make, like I said, make gorgeous gifts. They, you know, wrap them up with a bow or put them in a cello bag with a little bit of the grass stuff, the shredded paper, and what a fun gift for somebody. We all could use cards, and you guys know how I am about thinking that we were losing that art of writing cards. This would be a great craft for you to do with your kids. Do it with shapes instead of flowers, maybe, because then they can do it, you know, in either direction. These are definite portraits today. Okay, so let's get our card bases, and we are going to fold and burnish on those score lines. Grab my bone folder. You want those fold lines nice and crisp. And don't forget, mountain in the middle. We go. Hi, Donna. How are you? Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. We have several people over on YouTube right now. I'm finding that people are watching me over on YouTube a little bit more than on Facebook. So and I can tell you, I have a lot of people watching on TikTok, guys. They are loving my painting over there as well as card making. We've just been having a blast over there. And they love these cards last night. In fact, I had somebody buy them right away. They go, "Can I buy these?" And it's like, absolutely. So we talked about what it would take, and she wanted an extra set too, which I thought was lovely. And how exciting, you know? Okay. got these going on. Donna, have you ever done this before, this technique? I like it because even though you stamp them similar, when you cut it apart, they all look a little bit different. And by just using the same color palette throughout, you've got a beautiful set. So that is the fronts. And now we're going to do the insides. And I just saw another opportunity on this one. So I'm going to grab this little heart. I am going to grab the, I think let's do the peach pie. And we're going to add another butterfly here. Just down in this corner. There we go. This time I happen to have a green pen here, so we're just going to use this green marker. Right like that. So I had two opportunities on this same card. I just happened to miss one. Well, Paula says yes, she's done this technique before. So remember, this is the inside of the card, and you can see why we didn't want quite as much, because you want to be able to write inside that card. Okay. Let's get this one on here. Just like that. Just centering these on here. And don't you just love bringing the front of your card to the inside? You know, and you can put them on, you know, you can decorate your envelopes the same way, you guys. Make it a custom set that nobody else will have. Because I usually do my cards not in multiples. So I will do one design, one set. I may do that same design in a different stamp set, but I only offer them in onesies. That way your cards are unique when you purchase them. Okay, we have those. So we have those 4 done. And look at that. It's just 1:30. It's in 35 minutes we did all 4 cards. Okay, here's the cards I did last night. Now, like I said, we did them a little bit different. This one I did some green around the edge with direct to paper, and this is a special fold. And see how I did the insides a little bit different. So this is where I'm saying that my cards are all going to be a little bit different. And I use the same colors, but I matted them all differently. And the insides are a little bit different. Okay. So we have that set, but that's not the set I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the set that we did in my 3 for $20 this month. So I used a retired Christmas set to do them. It's one of my all-time favorites, and we did a lot more. We did some blending in that, and actually I taught this class last night at the same time on TikTok. So they got 2 different sets of cards to watch me do, and with the different techniques using the same technique. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and the details will be over on my blog at judystamps.com tomorrow. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping!